Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more Elden Ring, where last time we came across this Revenger's Shack, and I was so focused on Revenger. What is going on with that? And we were doing some quick stepping and blood flame and all sorts of other stuff. I completely overlooked the fact that we fought against Edgar the Revenger. As in Castellan Edgar, as in the Warden of Castle Morn. And I just... it's one of these things that tunnel vision, you just sometimes overlook things. I wasn't expecting Edgar to be an invader, I think is really the what happened. I also was expecting that when we would cross paths again with him, that there would be some misbegotten that he would have gotten revenge on. And these look like just, I don't know, average run-of-the-mill loot corpses. So nothing about the situation other than the name, which sometimes I just look right on past because, hey, it's just another invader. Oh, cool. Didn't even think anything of the fact that the name lined up with somebody that we knew from before. There was nothing else about the situation, though, to me, that would have indicated a connection to Castellan Edgar. So it appears, though, that he did get some sort of revenge. I don't know if these are... I mean, they don't look like misbegotten. I don't know if they were supposed to be, or if they are, you know, connected to Raya Lucaria in some way. We do see a couple corpses here that have the Lucarian garb, the Academy garb. Who knows exactly what is the deal? Like, who knows? Maybe the misbegotten were like one of these byproducts of the weird stuff going on with Raya Lucaria. We've got, you know, the puppets and the balloons, and we've got Albinorix and all sorts of other weird stuff that seem to be the result of whatever shenanigans have been going on at Raya Lucaria. But either way, I just wanted to make note of that I did realize that we had cross paths with Edgar. When I was editing my footage, you get to sit back and take off the lens, the tunnel vision glasses. I also, at the time, forgot to make mention of the fact that we have, I think here at the Revenger's Shack, actually, we either equaled or surpassed the total death count from Bloodborne, my Bloodborne playthrough. Those of you who watched to the end of the video, and for those who do, thank you for watching. For those who watched till the end, you are aware of the death count that we have been keeping track of, just as a fun metric to mark down our progress as we move, quote unquote, as we move through Elden Ring. And it's also fun to just kind of like stack that up against the other games where we have kept track of that pretty useless metric, but it's just a fun thing. It's just a fun thing to be able to say, hey, look at this. Look at how many times I've gotten my butt whooped. It's really not any use when you're trying to, you know, it really doesn't make sense to compare the death counts between a game like Elden Ring and a game like Bloodborne, because, like, Elden Ring, in my mind, seems clearly so much larger than either Bloodborne or DS3, and it just, like, it's really, it just, you could almost put all the death, we may, by the time we're done, we may end up surpassing the entire total death counts from all the other FromSoft games put together, and that would really not be too surprising to me at all, because Elden Ring just feels like it's going to be that ridiculous of a journey. But either way, I did want to make note of that. We are coming up on the DS3 death count soon enough. Maybe this episode. Who knows what we will be getting into today? You never know when Elden Ring is going to be kicking your ass and stacking up the death count. I've been making my way over here to this part of the map because there was a piece of loot that we missed that I completely overlooked as well last time. A stone sword key. Okay, cool. I found this while backtracking. I had done some cleanup off camera. I went and killed some of, I think all, there might be some stragglers still around, but I think I have cleaned up all of the balloons, the puppeteer balloons. And in the process, I did re-explore this area, this part of the map where I wasn't confident that I had gotten everything, and sure enough, there was a stone sword key that we had missed. So cool. We've got that now, and that makes it even more, even easier for us to afford the double stone sword key that is over here on the other side of Raya Lucaria. Maybe we will do that shortly. Let's go back to the hold. We've got to complete our normal housekeeping here, and I think it's time for us to do a little bit of experimentation with the Ashes of War. This is something, a part of the game that I have been talking about and thinking about for a very long time, but it seems that maybe there is something about this system that I don't fully understand yet, and it probably is just a matter of me, the fact that I have not played around with it, but I have been talking.
Well, I took you for dinner, matter. You're out.
Some of my trusted advisors, which I have mentioned many times, my siblings, who I hang out with from time to time, and we don't really talk about Elden Ring because they know that I want to stay in the dark. I'm trying to do a blind playthrough, no spoilers. But they did ever so gently, ever so kind of with my own, at my own asking of them, like, if there was one thing that you guys could, is there anything that you all have some agreement on that I should maybe spend a little more time thinking about or paying attention to in the game? And I think they all unanimously said, check out Ashes of War. I think also there might have been a comment that I had read that said, it'll be exciting when you finally understand what's going on with Ashes of War, something to that effect. So I get this sense that there is something about this system that I don't grasp yet. I guess we can go through what I think I do grasp, because to me, it seems very straightforward that the system is supposed to be very much like infusions, like you had in DS3 and some of the other games. I don't remember exactly what they were called in the other games, but you have this similar system where you are giving some sort of additional scaling, a focused scaling to, let's go ahead and pick the Uchigatana here. You're giving, like, for instance, for the, if you're picking one of these, well, we can see this, the change in the stats here. Like, if you give a faith, a sacred scaling to one of these, it adds faith scaling to the weapon, while it lowers the strength and the dexterity scaling. And it also changes the amount of base damage for physical and holy, and it also, because of the scaling changing, the bonus damage changes as well. The plus 48, plus 8, plus 41. These numbers that we see, I can use my mouse to point at those numbers. Anyway, I don't know what I'm getting at here, other than that part of the system seems very much like previous games. And you also have the fact that you are changing to a different weapon art. So instead of unsheathe, you would now have Sacred Blade. That would replace that part. So you're changing the weapon art, as well as you are giving it a particular infusion to match your build, which we are more of a faith build. We're not a complete dedicated faith build, but we definitely get much more advantage out of faith scaling than most builds. The other part of the calculus here that I am aware of is this Iron Wet Blade, which is supposed to give us an additional affinity, either heavy, keen, or quality. So not only do we get this sacred affinity, but we also get this cool bonus of adding, I think in our case, we would want to add, well, maybe we would not add quality. Maybe we would add heavy because we actually have like 7 more strength and dexterity. But I'm hoping that we will see in the choice of which of these affinities we get to take, which one is going to be more beneficial to us. But either way, it's sort of like icing on the cake. You just get that. Apparently, though, there is more to the story here. So what we're going to do, there is something else within this system that is more than that. That's my understanding of it. And it seems like a good thing to, actually use one of these Ashes of War to give yourself at least the bonus affinity that you get from the Iron Wet Blade, in addition to aligning a weapon's scaling with your build. But it seems that there's more. Anyway, I'm talking about this way too much. Let's go ahead and actually do something. What I had talked about doing a while ago was using, we finally found a Lost Ashes of War, which allows us to duplicate one of these weapon arts. And I think what I had thought about, and I have not had a better idea since, what I wanted to do was use this Sacred Blade, or I wanted to duplicate the Sacred Blade so that I could use it on one of my Uchi-Katanas. Because it seemed like a really fun idea to maybe do dual-wielding Uchi-Katanas at some point, have one of them be a Sacred Blade, and then the other keep it as an unsheath weapon art, and then you can apply whatever other fire grease, blood grease, lightning grease, black flame, blood flame. Now we have all these options to coat not an unupgraded, but an armament that has no affinity to it. You know what I'm talking about, I think. It just seemed like a cool idea to have these dual Uchi-Katanas with one of them being a holy option. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Because there's so many different weapon arts that could potentially be, that we could make use of at some point. This is part of the problem with me approaching a system like this, is that there's a little bit of option overload. I'm so much of an overthinker, I'm so much of an overanalyzer, that I think, oh, this option, I could make use of this someday. I could make use of this other option someday, and I don't want to screw things up by using this on the wrong weapon. And so I end up kind of like just procrastinating and putting it off until later, dealing with that whole decision as to what Ash of War to use on what weapon. But this the Lost Ashes of War allows us to kind of get a freebie. There's no downside because we have an unsheath somewhere. I don't remember exactly. Here it is. We have an unsheath. If we wanted to, we could go back. We could take the Sacred Blade off of the Uchi-Katana that we put it on, and we can go back to unsheath. So we have the ability to completely not penalize ourselves or like do the wrong thing. Is any of what I'm saying making sense to you all? You all are just like, stop talking and just actually use the stupid Lost Ashes of War already. Let's duplicate the Sacred Blade. Let's do it. I am recording here. Make sure that the recording is working as I take this, make this decision that I can never take back. There's going to be more Lost Ashes of War. That's the other thing, right? Okay, now we go to the Uchi-Katana. I don't think it really matters which one I use it on. Let's do it on the +6 because these are basically the same exact thing. So let's put it on the +6, and there we go. We have 2 Sacred Blades. So now we can use one of them, and it's like it never worked. Okay, or never worked. Never. I don't know what in the hell I'm talking about. Affinity granted. Oh. Oh. Is this what you all are talking about? I see. I see. Huh. Okay. So, what have we learned all of a sudden? I think we are learning that you are not limited. You are able to choose something other than a sacred affinity for the Sacred Blade. You can choose quality. You can choose keen. You can choose heavy. Huh. What happens when you go for something like Lion's Claw, which is supposed to be a heavy affinity? Interesting. Interesting. This is one of these FromSoft things where, well, even I may not still fully understand this. Let me not jump to any conclusions yet because, I think we want to stick with sacred. I think we do not want to take quality or keen. I don't This doesn't, this only, yeah, I can see it lowers our physical, the base damage from 155 to 129. We're just not getting enough, we're not fully invested enough in a quality build for that to make sense for us. Heavy, let's see, we take away 14 from the base damage, but we add 16. I guess heavy is a very slight upgrade for us. Now, what does standard do? So standard, fascinating. It actually does give you the option to, you know, you don't have to change the scaling. You actually don't have to change the scaling. Now, what here is one question in my mind, though. This affinity granted, is this a normal part of the system? Or is it because we have this special iron wet blade? We're going to do sacred. I think this is the most beneficial to our build. I think. I don't know for sure because I never have figured out exactly, and I don't want to know, but the fact that it says 155 plus 45 for physical right now, then it changes to, it has a 115 for both physical and holy, and then a plus 7 and a plus 38. Like, to me, I don't know how that is supposed to compare to the physical damage from before. Am I supposed to add these two things together? How is this actually applied to the enemy, right? There's some formula in the game that is unknown to the player. If you're just looking at these screens, you'd have to go to some wiki page to have it explained to you, because somebody has figured it out, probably. And I've never done that. I've never gone, even in the previous Dark Souls games, I've never gone to figure that out. Either way, I think this is the way we want to go. We're going to be focusing on sacred. Was that the iron wet blade? Okay, I would have expected there to be another. Was that it? Okay. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure what just happened, because it looks like we only applied. First of all, I have not equipped the. I want to put this one in the right hand, and I want to put this other guy in the left hand, and then we are going to go and test this out. But what I wanted to see. It doesn't feel like we got the iron wet blade. It doesn't feel like we applied an additional affinity. So we had the option to switch the affinity to one of the other, like, standard physical, heavy, keen, quality, or standard, but it didn't feel like we got an additional one. I'm probably missing something. I am probably not exactly sure what the heck is going on. Okay. Nothing has been cleared up. Still confused, as ever. I'm sure this is no shock to any of you in the audience. I have a lot of souls on the line. I'm hoping that there is no... there better not be an invader that has decided to show up in the PvP area down here, because I don't want to have to hassle with that at the moment. So the way that I would apply this is I have to go... Yeah, I have to two-hand the left-handed option if I want to apply the Sacred Blight. Okay, let's try this out. That is cool. That is cool. Awesome. And then we can go like this. And then we have... So cool. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay. Dude, that the Uchi looks absolutely gorgeous with the Sacred Blade animation on it. It is so sick. And this L1 moveset that you get with the dual, the power stancing, I guess is what you call it. Very nice. And then the other thing, now if I do switch the blade, I think it goes away, correct? Yeah, that is an unfortunate thing here. So if I wanted to do, we're just gonna test this out a little bit here. Let's go back to the Table of Lost Grace. I forgot to apply, or not apply, but I forgot to equip one of my spells that... No, I think I actually had... No, I don't have the one that I thought I did. Hold on. I want one of my incantations that applies... Let's just give ourselves the Blood Flame Blade. Let's do that. And I need to equip my seal. Bring that seal back. Let's go back down into the tryout area. Okay. All right. I have to say I'm a little bit, I don't know, confused is one word. A little disappointed that it feels like we didn't get this iron wet blade. I'm clearly confused about this, but it looks like, oh, that. Oh, I get it now. That was the screen. Grants choice of affinity upgrade to weapon. Okay. So that was the screen that we saw. So it doesn't actually... I see. I get it. Okay. The iron wet blade with a cipher engraved can be used as a whetstone knife. I see. Okay. So we were not getting... Yep. Okay. I definitely was confused because I was not... I get why it says additional now. It's not giving you a bonus affinity. It's giving you additional choices. I feel like the wording here should be done differently. It should say additional choices of... Yeah, I don't know. It does say can be chosen. The wording here, for me at least, is a little bit misleading. But it does make sense now. Okay, so I'm still not exactly sure what it is that I am misunderstanding about this Ashes of War system. Because I think it has worked exactly the way... It's not exactly the way that I understood it to work, but it's more or less the way that I was understanding it to work. Try that one more time. Okay. It has the blood flame, the mark of the Lord of Blood. Looks similar to something from Hollow Knight, but it's a little not quite the same. We have blood flame in one hand, and now we can switch to the other. Oh, but see, I'm gonna lose. Oh, I can't do this, can I? I cannot do this. Oh, I can't actually, unless I use fire grease. I have to use fire grease, don't I? I can't actually apply one of my, I guess I could do magic grease as well. But I can't. There we go. So that's the only way that I could actually get two affinities going at the same time, which does look super sick. Dude. I mean, I kind of want to play around with this. Okay, and there we lose our, the Sacred Blade does go away within, what is that? 30 seconds? 60 seconds? It doesn't last that long. Okay. Okay. All right. I think that is enough for now for me to, at least think through my options more thoroughly. We now do have this Uchigatana option, and I may decide to upgrade these and bring them into the fold of our many armament options once again. But I have to say, I do have to say that I really am, as fun as this is, I have really, really liked the fire aesthetic. What we've been doing with the scale sword and these other fire spells has been so much fun. Let's go back to the Table of Lost Grace. Okay, all right. I'm not sure about this, about the Ashes of War. This is another thing, is you can't do the Ashes of War with these unique weapons, right? Like the scale sword with a unique skill. There's no Ashes of War that you can give to it. Which is fine. Like, I mean, would you really want to get rid of your magma guillotine? Realistically speaking? Okay, I just had an idea. Let's go back to Smithing Master Hugh. I just thought, what happens actually if we try to apply... If we try to do the Ashes of War...
I took you no matter lay out your arm.
If we try to do this with a weapon that we've already applied an Ashes of War to. If we go back and then we try to apply some other one. Just take your pick. Okay, it didn't do what I was maybe thinking it might. The fact that this standard option is here had suggested to me, or I had this idea all of a sudden, that what if the system allows you to keep whatever affinity is already... Wait, did I pick the right one? I did pick the Sacred Uchigatana, right? So, right now the Sacred Uchigatana has the Sacred Affinity, which is denoted by this little icon here that's to the bottom right of the Uchigatana. Does it say that? It may not... It does say Sacred Uchigatana. What I thought for a second is that maybe applying another Ash of War would then give you the option on top of Heavy, Keen, and Quality, which is given by the Iron Whetblade, that you might also be able to keep whatever is already there. You know, just keep the Sacred part, which is this standard option here is what gave me this idea. When we first applied the Sacred Blade to the Uchigatana, it, I would presume, already has a standard affinity that's associated with it. And so I thought, well, maybe it just lets you keep whatever affinity is already applied, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I was thinking for a second that could be a really cool way to just mix and match, you know, take your pick of affinity and mix it with whatever Art of War that you want. I guess it's already pretty nice that they do give you the option to just apply the standard affinity, so you don't have to overwrite whatever affinity is already on the weapon if you like the scaling that's already there, which is cool. And regardless, we have a cool option now to play around with if we do decide to lean back into the Holy Samurai roleplay. But as I was saying, like, I really like... There's something about this this fire. The fact that we're wearing D's armor, you know, the Golden Order fundamentalist, and yet slowly but surely we're being drawn in by all of these different fire spells. The dark side of the incantation spectrum, right? The what is this? The Flame of the Fell God, the Frenzied Flame, the Three Fingers, all these different not so holy aspects of incantations and faith. I think that's all we're going to do now. For now on the Ashes of War front, though, let's focus on leveling up. Let's get a level under our belt here, and I think we will just put a point into Faith. That actually does raise the attack power on our Scale Sword, and of course it boosts all our incantations, and it gets us closer to being able to actually naturally cast things like Flame of the Fell God. And of course we have our respec option still in our back pocket, supposedly, once we actually get to Raya Lucaria, whenever that might be. But yeah, the Faith has been leveled up now. I was just going to mention that I am considering the possibility that, you know, we could, the reason I put Flame of the Fell God on my, my memory slots here off camera, is I was thinking that maybe at some point when we are exploring, if we're not like immediately going into a boss, and we don't think that we're going to imminently any second die, it might be a good idea to just use a rune arc. These are in the game. We're supposed to use these, and we have 15 of them. Why not just pop one of these so that we have plus $5 attributes while we're walking around? We're going to die at some point, but at least we will have gotten some usage out of this, and it would allow us, combined with our Flask of Wondrous Physic, it would allow us to use things like Flame of the Fell God prematurely. So why not give that some thought? We'll have that as an option down the road eventually. Well, let's finish up the rest of our housekeeping here, which in my notes I want to I wanted to just check in with a couple other vendors, similar to how we have...
Always good to see you safe. So, what do you need?
Similar to how we have... We had purchased all of the options from Selin. I just wanted to see if there was any progression that we could get out of people like Roger and Sorcerer Topes. I actually want to... Well, let's go ahead. I have plenty of runes in my in the bank, so let's just buy what is in front of us. Again, these are sorceries that we're not planning on using, but I'm going to collect these at some point, and who knows, maybe in some world this would progress an NPC questline. Probably not, but why not? It does give us a talk option. Okay. There has been some progression here. Interesting. We've done Ronnie's whereabouts. We may review that potentially here based on what talk gives us, but let's find out what the new dialogue from Roger. We're keeping our eyes on, no matter what, we're keeping our eyes on Roger, especially after the events with Fia and knowing that you were betting together. What do you have to say?
The battle art you've learned is of the Glintstone family. They were conceived at the Great Academy of Raya Lucaria, to the north of this castle. In the past, they obeyed laws which contravened the Golden Order, or so I'm told. Fascinating, isn't it? That the Golden Order was pliable enough to absorb practices that contradicted itself in the past. With the Order broken, twisted, and in need of repair, such adaptability is more important now than ever.
Definitely another difference probably between D and Roger. I'm sure D has much less favorability toward the Golden Order adapting to differences in its... I don't know exactly how all this stuff is supposed to work. The Golden Order, the Glintstone side of things. But that's a cool little blurb. Giving us a little more depth to things. Okay. So we did get just a little bit of a change as a result of making some purchases. So I think we will do the same thing with Sorcerer Topes. Let me just make sure there's nothing else that would have changed after we rest. Doesn't appear to be. We've just got the bit with
Princess Rani true, then she should bear the curse mark. Would you be willing to procure? She may have returned to the Royal Karian residence
the Royal Karian residence. We're going to be making our way there eventually. My plan, my general plan as of this point is I do want to explore Raya Lucaria first, but I'm also interested... before we get to the manor, that is, I'd like to do Raya Lucaria first and then the Karian Manor. I think our plan for today is going to be exploring a couple other things first before Raya Lucaria, but we'll see. We'll get to that in a moment. Let me stay on track and get the rest of our housekeeping out of the way here. We're going to go to Sorcerer Topes. So we need to go to Liurnia. Now, the deal with Sorcerer Topes, again, is when we went back to talk with him, we have the option now to give him a Glintstone key. And he had been wanting to get his hands on a Glintstone key so he could get back into Raya Lucaria. I had made the decision, not at the time, I had wondered about it for a couple episodes, but I have made the decision now at this point that we are going to use that Glintstone key for ourselves to get into Raya Lucaria. And it would seem that if there were some other Glintstone key to be found, inside Raya Lucaria would probably be a very likely location. And if it turns out that there's no other Glintstone key to be found, then, you know, I will find out next playthrough what happens when we take the alternate timeline of giving Sorcerer Topes the Glintstone key.
Another. Why, of course.
But I'm not going to take that chance this time around, given the fact that supposedly the Glintstone key only works once or for one person. So if we study sorcery, let's see, we need about the same. We actually need 5k as well. So let's pop some runes here. Let's dip into our piggy bank. Let's get some. We get 2 of these. And just another 700. 800. And then we will grab.
Why, of course.
We are so well stocked on sorceries now that we have no chance of using. Because we dumb. And we do get an additional option of dialogue from Topes as well. A little bit more flavor about glintstone stuff.
Thank you, kind soul, for learning my paltry sorceries. I never imagined that a bluntstone like myself would have the chance to play teacher.
Okay. Not even, just a bit of thanks. Nothing more than that. And we appreciate that. Selen, she has no time for giving thanks. Selen just is like, oh, that's the natural course of things. You're buying all my sorceries. What else would happen? Okay, but we are not giving him the glintstone key. Let's go and rest and just make sure that there's no progression. And then we will check our notes and see what the next thing on the agenda is going to be. I think that might be the rest of the housekeeping that I wanted to do. Fooling around with the Ashes of War and wrapping my brain around that, a new in-game system.
Back to learn another. Why, of course.
Took enough time as it is. Okay, looks like that is the end of things here for Sorcerer Topes. Let's look at our notes. We've bought out both Roger. Oh, there was that one little... Let's head back to the hold for one more... I don't think this is going to be a thing, but let's just check with the 2 fingers here. We ran into Vare last time, and Vare had made mention of how sus the 2 fingers is in his mind. And I thought, just maybe there might be a new dialogue option with the finger reader, but does not appear to be the case. We need a big boss soul. It's been a long time since we fought Godric. I am looking forward to either Raya Lucaria, or if I had to guess, I would think the Carian manor is really where the next demigod is going to be, right? Ronnie? And that the whole situation in Raya Lucaria is primarily focused on getting us a respec option. But I don't know. We might have 2 big boss fights in front of us. Who knows? That is the fun of the blind playthrough. There's a couple other notes here that I have for housekeeping, but I'm going to save those for later. What we're going to do is we're going to head back to the precipice of anticipation. We are... I think we are... 119 runes is basically 0. So we are going to take that opportunity to check and see what is through that fog gate. I have been thinking about it a lot since the last time that I got to play, and I really, really want to see what is behind the fog gate that is back at the beginning of the game. Is it just that stupid... That dork grafted scion that knocked us off into the water, sent us drifting to where we started the game? Do I have the lineup, by the way, that I would want to go into a boss fight? I actually don't, because I'm not planning on using a great rune, so I can actually... I don't think we're going to use this Flame of the Fell God, so I can actually get rid of that. And I don't think we're going to use this Howl of Shabriri. I'm not even sure exactly how this works. I just put it on. I put it in a memory slot because I thought, let's find out, let's experiment if we're going to be drinking our Flask of Wondrous Physic at some point. But I actually... it might be better to go with just a quick spell. A quicker spell like Catch Flame, but then the range on Catch Flame is a problem. We don't know what we're facing yet, so it's probably better not to think too deeply about it. Why don't we do that? Let's just leave what we have right there. We will allocate flasks slightly differently. Maybe more toward the Estus flask end of the spectrum. And I think that's where we're not going to overthink it. Not when we don't know what is coming. We're just going to find out. We had fun last time. Well, I think probably you all had more fun than I did. Getting to enjoy me jebaited by nascent butterflies to falling to my death. I'm sure that is really the anticipation when you're watching somebody step through that sending gate. No torrent here. I don't think it's still fully sunk in that we are back at the start of the game. Like, there's a little bit of a I mean, you kind of always have these moments. The FromSoft worlds are so well designed, and so often you get these moments where it's been so long since you were at a place like this. Usually near the beginning of the game. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbering, and we're going to drink our flask. We're going to apply our... If I remember how to cast things here, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going. It is a grafted scion. Okay, what the heck? Why am I'm fat rolling. Oh my god, I did not... Apparently, I made some changes. Oh my god, you are so weak. I made some changes to my gear here, and I didn't realize that Okay, well, it may not matter, because this thing has no health. It's like it has the health... Oh, it's using Sacred Blade. Or something similar. It still does enough damage where it's a little bit... Huh. Okay. Very interesting. It was actually just a grafted scion, and it seemed to not be too ridiculously powered up. And so even though I was fat rolling, we really didn't have a problem. I would have thought they would have buffed that thing a little bit more. Maybe maybe we're just over leveled for where we are in the game. That could be the deal. I'll take the win. Out of my game, grafted scion. You dork. Ornamental straight sword and a golden beast crest shield. Slender straight sword patterned after an antique ornament. Superior swordsman. Prefer to wield one in each hand. Well, it depends on how many hands you've got, I suppose. After falling from grace, the dregs of the golden lineage sought power and purpose in the past. The dregs of the golden lineage. Isn't that Godfrey and Godwin and Godric? Falling from grace. The unique skill is golden tempering, so that's, I think, what was being done at the end there. Cross the two swords to grant their attacks holy essence. While in effect, strong attack performs a dual-wielding combo attack. Dual-wielding combo attack. We could try that. I mean, it may actually be a weapon for us. As I'm thinking about it here, it sounds like a a holy weapon, does it not? Just gotta find it. I could have... I happened to find it here. I could have sorted as well. Interestingly, there is no scaling for faith. No faith requirements. But... let's equip it here. And then... it does actually... momentarily, at least... momentarily, it did give us... another sword. That's... I don't know what I was thinking there. Oh, you do a strong attack. Whoa! Excuse me? Okay, that's pretty sick. Whoa! I like the contrasting colors here that we've got with the. Okay, so you do a charge attack when you've got this thing imbued with holy, and you are going super stabby mode. Huh? That's pretty fun. That is pretty fun. I wonder if we. It is a unique skill. There's no... any weapon, I think, that has a unique skill is not one that you can replace with an Ash of War. Not that we would want to do that, but I was just thinking about affinities and potentially giving this a more faith-oriented skew. That's really, really cool. I like that. Let's check out... we're going to put our scale sword back. Just because I usually don't like switching things around mid... switching around options mid-recording. What am I wanting to do here? I wanted to check out the shield. The Golden Beast Crest Shield. Golden Beast. Shield of dull gold with a beast engraved as its crest. Lighter than most great shields and subsequently easier to wield. With the setup that we've got in terms of talismans, we have enough strength to wield this. If we wanted, it does have 100% physical damage negation. Imagine using a shield in a Dark Souls game. The beast depicted is Serash, aged counselor who guides the golden lineage. Serash. Is that going to be a character that we're introduced to? Serash. Aged counselor who guides the golden lineage. It wouldn't be the beast that is depicted in that. We've seen a couple paintings of Godfrey. Is the beast, is that Serash that's in the in those paintings? Queen America. You hiding anything over here? So odd now to be back here. And that fight, they did in fact give us the grafted scion. We got their revenge. We talked earlier about Edgar and his revenge. I suppose we have gotten our revenge from so long ago. I suppose if I really wanted to get the true revenge, I would have donned my put back the samurai gear. We probably should have done that. Put the samurai gear back on just for this moment, so that the scion would have known who exactly they were dealing with. Okay, well, so far, I was wondering if there might be some loot, something new that we could find here, and there may still be, as we head back to the very, very beginning. Now, when I was here the first time, I'm sure you all will note that it's open. This door, when you start the game, it has the message does not open from this side, I think. I don't actually remember because I have only seen this on a fresh file. But it is very interesting now. Coming back to the beginning. Though the path be broken and uncertain, claim your place as Elden Lord. Now, another thing here that I did not notice on my own playing a fresh file. This is something that was... I don't know that the person in the comments meant to do this, but this is how comments work sometimes. I am choosing to engage with the comments, so sometimes I pick up things from the comments that I haven't picked up on my own. And that observation is the fact that this person here looks very much like the individual at the top of, well, at the Church of Inhibition, up on the Frenzied Plateau. A blind maiden, right? And I definitely did not notice that when we started the game. How could I have noticed? How could I have known oh so long ago? What did we picked up some gear, an outfit, right? When we were up there on the Church of Inhibition. The Finger Maiden robe. May not be a blind maiden, it may just be a finger maiden, I suppose, because she's not wearing a blindfold here. The maidens who serve the two fingers. They live to serve a chosen tarnished, sharing their guidance and wisdom of the two fingers. Does that mean they're supposed to only serve one particular tarnished? Or maybe they have a few different tarnished. They would have to have a whole lot of finger maidens to keep up with the supply of tarnished that are being freshly arisen from the dead. If I understand things correctly. The guidance of grace would ensure that the pair be brought together. There it is. Okay, the pair. Or at least such was the promise long ago. So is that what the story is supposed to be here? Was this supposed to be our finger maiden? And something happened? Did somebody kill you? Did you just die on your own? But I think, if I remember correctly, this is where you pick up your... What is the item? It's like the message writing thing, right? Not this, but... where is that? These are the multiplayer things. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but the item... Maybe it's a key item. The item that allows you to write messages. I could be making stuff up, but I think that was the item here. Huh. Fascinating. Okay. I'm hearing, like, the glow of an item. It's very faint. I don't know if you all can hear it, but there's some sort of faint resonance of something. I don't know exactly what that sound means, but we need to check through this door because it was not open before. And my suspicion that we were going to be reaching somewhere behind this door, we were going to get there through, like, the underground or something. That appears to not be the case. I was ready for a fight, if I'm being honest. Nothing of note other than the presence of an item. The Stormhawk King. Key item. It's a set of ashes. Ashes of a hawk which heeds no summons. Ashes of a hawk revered by all others as sovereign. back in the days when Stormvale's winds still raged like no other. This ancient monarch is proud, however, refusing to answer anyone's summons. I see. We're not able to summon this thing. It's a key item, right? We would not be able to put this in our quick items, I don't think. Pretty sure that's... It's only your tools and I guess ashes that are normally able to be equipped, and that is no different here because this actually shows up as a... I want to go to key items and see where it is. It's next to the Shabriri grape, for whatever that's worth. This is a strange one. An ancient monarch. The Stormhawk King. I mean, that sounds super cool, and I love this artwork. What does this mean, though? Are we... Is this a key item? I'm all of a sudden thinking, like, am I supposed to go and re-explore through Stormvale Castle to see where this item might, I don't know, all of a sudden spring to life? Oh, you reached the throne room in Stormvale. Actually, where is the throne room in Stormvale? There is, I guess there is a throne room that is behind Godric's boss room. We could go there. That wouldn't require any fighting through any enemies. What are we supposed to do with that? What? I mean, I never would have known what I would expect to find up here, but that's definitely not it. Okay. And there is a chest up here. That's what this, I don't think I had not realized that before, but there is a very, very faint sound that is associated with the chests. And I never saw, I never saw the chest from down below. Could I have seen the chest from down below? Definitely. Seems so obvious now. How did we miss that? FromSoft games are so good. Stormhawk Dean. This one looks like we actually can summon it. Used to summon the spirit of Dean the Stormhawk. Spirit of a fierce hawk that faithfully rendered lifelong service to the old king of Stormvale long ago, when the true storm raged. True storm. Its cries embolden its fellows in battle, and the tempestuous winds that encircle it shred through foes. We have not tried... We still have not tried this Warhawk Ashes. Have we summoned this even once? I don't think we have. Stormhawk Dean is along here with the other named Ashes. Interesting. Oh man, this is fascinating. I had already I had put the Raya Lucaria Soldier's Ashes into my quick items because I was thinking about leveling these up and using them as we head back into Raya Lucaria. And maybe I will still do that. Okay, I'm gonna have to probably, well, I'm thinking now that they've given us two items here. One of them a key item related to Stormhawks. We are right around the corner from Stormvale, okay? So this may be nothing other than, you know, this Chapel of Anticipation over here. Maybe at some point, was this actually connected in some way? Like physically connected via a landmass that has since broken off? Was this connected to Stormvale Castle? Where you could actually just walk across? Stormhawk Dean. Oh, I want to try it. I want to try them out. And I want to know what the heck is with the Stormhawk King. Not the nameless king. And also, can they fly out and get me this these 3 nascent butterflies? I still want those. We are, I think, going to quickly go to Godric's room, because this is the only thing that I can think of immediately that I would want to, where I would want to check. We could talk to, since we're here, we might as well talk with the, what was this guy's name again?
Now, can I?
Gostic. It's been forever. You don't apparently know anything about Stormhawk Kings, unfortunately. I do love the Stormvale music. So haunting and foreboding. Stormhawk King, what the heck? Key item. I can't think of anything in this area that would trigger in response to the presence of the Stormhawk King. Is it possible that we would no longer be hostile to the actual Stormhawks? We could test that out, right? We could test that by going to, was it the Rampart Tower? One of these is right by a whole bunch of Stormhawks. Something tells me that is not... The Stormhawks are always just going to be assholes. I don't think there's any changing that. No changing that. Fortunately, we are a fair bit stronger since the last time we had to deal with these assholes. But they don't become non-hostile to us. They don't become passive as a result of our holding onto this thing. What the hell? What clue is on here that would... Who knows? It could be something that we're not supposed to go back to Stormvale in order to take advantage of it. We're supposed to find somebody else somewhere down the road, maybe in the royal capital or someplace. Revered by all others as sovereign, when Stormvale's winds still raged like no other. This ancient monarch is proud, however, refusing to answer anyone's summons. I don't get it. Or I don't get what I'm supposed to do with it. Absolutely fascinating, though. We did... I was expecting a boss fight and probably the Grafted Scion, and that is what we got. But we did not get... But we actually got more than that because the door opened that was previously closed. And we got some Stormhawk stuff. It does make me curious to maybe do some backtracking through Stormvale. Maybe. I've been happy to leave this place in the rear view, but it might be time, perhaps, to do some backtracking, probably off camera if I did decide to do it. Okay, let's head back to the Round Table Hold. We've got some runes to spend now, and we can level up some Spirit Ashes. I'm still wrapping my head around all of this. Like, did we just pick up, like, the peculiar doll? Did we just pick up the Canehurst summons? This Stormhawk King, I have no idea what to do with this, but for all I know, this could be an item that, you know, completely opens up like a whole new zone in the game.
Are you here for spirit tuning?
Something you should know, that's the Dung Eater stuff. For a second, I thought maybe she might know what was going on with the Stormhawk stuff. Yeah, she would be actually the perfect person if there was going to be any dialogue with somebody about this. You would think the Spirit Tuner might know more, but apparently not. Okay, so these are the equipped ashes. Okay, I always forget that they show equipped ashes first. We have special ashes. And I guess we have enough to... I kind of want to see what this Stormhawk is all about. We're a little low on these Ghost Glovewort. We're a little bit running short on that material. And I don't know that that one respawns. I could go back to some of these catacombs, I suppose, but I don't know that the Ghost Glovewort respawns. I do want to level up the Raya Lucaria ashes a bit. Might need to pop some runes or sell some stuff. But we've got plenty of the Grave Glovewort. We just need the runes. So let's get that out of the way. Just need like 1,200. We could do another. Let's do an 800 and a 400, or maybe a couple 200s, because we're gonna level that up a little bit more. I don't have any Grave Glovewort level 4. Okay, so +3 is the max that we can do with the Raya Lucaria Soldier Ashes. Let's switch out Latenna. We'll come back to Latenna at some point, but I want to switch over to Stormhawk Dean. Try out the Stormhawk. See what Dean has in store for us. There's a couple of these options I think I might take the Wraith Calling Bell. Do I see myself really using this a lot? Not really. I still want to try some Beast Lure pots at some point. We need to actually remember to do that. Next time we cross paths with a Rune Bear, theoretically. We'll leave that stuff the way that it is. Okay. Well, no, I want to do a little bit more. Let's spend the rest of our runes here. Let's just get the rest of our runes spent. So we'll upgrade, I don't know. Who might we want to... I guess maybe we upgrade the other Stormhawk Warhawk. Since we've got the Glovewort, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll do the Jellyfish as well. Okay. We will continue to think about what exactly is going on with the Stormhawk King. We need more information. I don't think we have enough information to know just yet, but maybe I need to backtrack through Stormvale. Probably not. Something tells me that this is an item that we're going to use further down the road. For now, we're still... I want to get to Raya Lucaria eventually, and hopefully this episode, but I kind of also do want to check quickly and see what is this. We've got plenty of Stone Sword keys, and I kind of want to open up this double Stone Sword key entrance and just at least get a title card, maybe, to see what we're dealing with. Do I want to... I want to give myself at least one or two more spell options. let's go with the Flame of Frenzy. And we'll go with this guy as well. We'll give ourselves an AoE option as well as a long-range single target option. We'll go with that for now. And let's make our way toward... Get myself oriented correctly here. Make our way toward the Stone Sword Key entrance. There are some scarabs here that I had forgotten about. All right. As we do away with 2 of our Stone Sword Keys. Academy Crystal Cave. I did forget to reapportion my flasks, which I think I will just quickly tweak. There is a cave, though. It's locked behind 2 Stone Sword Keys, which may, you know, who knows what that indicates. My first instinct is that it is an indicator of difficulty, but maybe not. What was I going to do? I was going to put this back to 7-3. Okay. Let's spend a little bit of time here at least. I thought for a second I was seeing an enemy, but I'm instead seeing some purple crystals. We've got some different colored... I thought at first this was an enemy. Turns out the enemy is over here. Is it a... It looks like it's actually just a rat. Okay. Okay, so we have a rat infestation in the purple crystal. The Purple Crystal Academy Cave. We have seen these purple-colored crystals before, haven't we? It's been a while now, but I think we did see them over here in the Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnel. All right. It just felt right to me that to kind of completely wrap up our business outside of the academy, this feels like it would be a continuation of our exploration of the Liurnia area in general. Oh my god. There are some stone-crowned folks hanging out here. Well, this is a perfect time for us to utilize our Frenzied Burst, is it not? Now, another thing that I did not necessarily learn on my own, but I learned via an offhanded comment from one of my trusted advisors, who I don't think intended to give this away. I think he thought that I was already aware of this, but I was not. When it comes to the Frenzied Burst, the way that Frenzied Burst works now, that I know this now, is that it actually can penetrate multiple enemies if they are lined up. I had not realized that. I thought I was getting... I had done this before with a couple of the puppets, I think, that were on the balloons, without realizing it. I thought that they were just in close enough proximity to each other that they suffered an AoE damage component similar to a charged lightning spear. But in fact, I think the Frenzied Burst sort of lines up the enemies, and just however many are in a row, it skewers them. Am I going to be able to manage that here with these guys? I'm not sure. Because they're a little bit offset from each other. But either way, they don't have very much health, so... Not sure if I need to charge this, but since I have the time and the space, I might as well. But we got the Academy, the double stone crown the double stone crown guys. There is some lore, I think, regarding the single versus the double stone crown that's on the spirit ashes. I think I might actually check that real quick, because I'm always curious about these little details, which may or may not be important, but I think it's fun to think about them. See, we have a glintstone sorcerer, and then we have a twin sage sorcerer. That's what they're called. Those who study the twin sage conspectus, as opposed to the Olivinus conspectus. A muggle like me knows not the difference, other than that these are the Academy elite. Why the heck then are they hanging out down here in this dungy, dank crystal cave? But apparently they know Comet Shard and Crystal Burst sorceries. Might want to bust out my torch. It is pretty dark in here. The lantern is nice, but only so nice. At the same time, these enemies do sort of light themselves up, you know? Excuse me? What? Okay, I think I might know what happened there. An unexpected death, for sure. I think what happened is so our magma guillotine, we've noted before, has this ability to duck under certain attacks, depending on at what stage of the attack sequence you are. I think in this case, though, it actually played directly against us, because it looks like that the twin sage was firing off one of those, maybe the Comet Shard. It's like a shotgun sort of magic attack. And normally, if you only get hit by one of the little shotgun pellets, no big deal. I think in this case, we were close enough that we actually just jumped directly into all of the shotgun pellets, which results in insta-death, apparently. We may, I think, want to give ourselves magic protection. We have the ability to protect ourselves here. Why don't we do that? Magic fortification might be a good call. Are we going to want the Flame of Frenzy? This could be pretty good, actually, against a group of these guys, so I think I will keep that. And maybe I just want to switch to... Do I need, like, a full... It might be better. The one thing about the Flame of... or the Frenzy Burst is it does take time. We'll leave it. We will leave it. We'll try going with this setup, and let's see if we can get our souls back, and we'll try to avoid taking shotgun blasts to the face. Seems like a reasonable plan. Talk about unexpected deaths. The most unexpected. I like how our runes are lighting up the, illuminating the backdrop if we needed it any more to be illuminated. I think I'm gonna hit a crystal. Yeah. We do have to be wary of line of sight here. Possible that I would actually want 6-4 as my flask distribution while going through here. These guys do not have... it appears as though they have very little poise. So if you can get up and interrupt them, then you're going to be on good, solid footing. You just don't want to jump into an uninterrupted comet shard. Don't do it. Really doesn't do that much damage. I totally forgot to apply my magic fortification. All right, you're out of here. I see a lantern over in that direction, and we'll get the silver fireflies over here. But I did see another opening this way, so we'll go this way first. Trying to use my target lock to see if I can pick up on any enemies that are hiding out in the dark. This feels like a very sus end to a hallway here. Like this would be a prime candidate for some sort of ambush. Or a collapsing floor, which I only just now thought of after I would have already fallen into that trap. We get a stone sword key to replace one of the ones that we used. I don't know if that's a... Is that a... How common is that as a... How many times have you gotten a replacement stone sword key inside of the place that you unlocked? I think it happened in the Fringe Folk Hero's grave. Is at least one place I can remember. All right, we press forward. The Academy. I'm a little surprised that we could open that door. I thought we had a opens. We were going to have an opens from the other side. Ooh, who the hell is this guy? Who the heck is this? Telescope time. Whoa, dude. What is his... It's a little hard to see his face from here. If that is... I mean, he could be wearing a mask. They're all sort of wearing masks, I guess. If we think of... No, yeah, this guy is. Okay, I can kind of see it now. Like, if we look at his... I think this is the mouth right here. And then there's like a blindfold he's got on. And then the you know, the wizard's hat. He's a wizard, Harry. Well, I would love to use my frenzied burst on you if I have the clear shot. Ooh, he's strong. That is not what I meant to drink, but I guess we're drinking it. That worked out perfectly. The other guy happened to walk into my targeting. I was not planning on that working out that way, but he just happened to... I got this door working against me. What in the world is he doing? I think I'm tweaking out the AI because of where I'm positioned. I wanted to do the long-range sniping, and it kind of worked out, more or less. All right. Okay, any other threats that we need to neutralize? There's a fog gate. And there's a, ooh, I see a chest over there. Okay, this guy actually fell face up, fortunately. So assuming there's no other enemies in the area that we need to worry about, we get to take a look. We get to take a peek. See, there is a blindfold there, isn't it? Let me get a glowstone out here. There is a blindfold there. That's the first we've seen of one of these guys. It's also going with the tattered, bandaged footwear look. Are these guys going to be a mainstay inside of the academy? I wonder? All right, chest. Chest and also a trap. Let's go ahead and do this. I can't hit him. What the hell? I was trying to reestablish target lock. So he can knock me out of, He can knock me out of my frenzy burst. So I need to go with the non-charge version. My frenzy burst takes too long. How do I get around to him? Was there an entryway that I missed? Or is there a ladder? It's a bit of a weird situation because of the spell lineup that I gave myself. Okay, that one is a little quicker. So Flame of Frenzy is not the most efficient. Damn it. It's not the most efficient spell for taking care of this guy, but it's the one that I can actually get off in time. All right, there we go. How am I supposed to get to him? That is definitely not clear at the moment. I'm assuming that this is not high enough for me to jump up. Was there a sus wall over here that I missed? Wow. That wall, that portion of the cave is definitely... I am not sure if I have seen that kind of a sus wall before. If I have, they are so infrequent because they're not flat. This one is not flat. It's the only one that I can remember immediately off the top of my head. And the only way that I would have thought ever to even try that is because there was a dude here. And I couldn't see any other ladder or anything that would actually get me to this position. That is absolutely fascinating. And now, oh my God, this possibility, the possibility that a curved cave wall like that could potentially be a sus wall, that one blended in very well. Holy crap. How many other cave walls now? Oh my God. How many caves am I going to have to go back through to check to see if I missed that kind of a sus wall? What the actual fuck? A crystal staff. Another sorcery item that we're not going to be able to make use of. But gosh, show me the artwork on this. That is very blue. That is incredibly blue because it is designed for crystalline sorceries. Fashioned from pure crystal, a deed impossible for a human. The crystallion's faint cogitation is known as the wisdom of the stone. Sorry, wisdom of stone. This staff can only be wielded by those of intellect high enough to grasp such wisdom. 48 faith. Sorry, 48 intellect. What? Wow, this is looks to be maybe the ultimate intellect payoff. I guess you do have you would want to be focused on crystalline sorceries. Do we have any of those? Are any of our sorceries thought of as crystalline? I don't know. I think we have this one that's from Celia Town of Sorcery, a night sorcery. We have the Carian Royal Family sorceries, and then we have a whole crapload of glintstone. Maybe that's what's in the chest below, is a crystalline sorcery. That guy was definitely in a pretty good position to guard this chest. A rune arc. Okay. a cool discovery. How many of those types of sus walls have we missed? Goddamn. Well, do I have... I don't have a Stake of Marika. So this is a run back. If we have to actually face a boss. Have we gone through any fog gates where there have not been bosses? I don't think so. What are we going to... I'm out of FP, so I really can't be... If I'm going to use anything, it's going to be a flame grant me strength, and then try to rely on two-handing my magma sword. I think that's what we're down to here. Maybe I'll use a pickled turtleneck. I don't have my Flask of Wondrous Physic either. I don't know for sure if this stacks or not with the flame grant me strength. Double Crystallians. Okay. So we need to break your stance. I do have the ability to summon here. Dang it, how did you stab me? How did you get me? Okay. Probably a good idea for us to drink here. Since we have plenty of... I'm noticing that other Crystallian is wielding the staff that we just picked up. And also not doing anything to us right now. I'm out of stamina. Fuck. Okay, I want to get you out of the way. Let's drink, since we have plenty of Estus flasks. And we'll use the cover here. I don't have enough FP to be able to reapply my magic protection. We can backstab you. Let's drink. That's, actually, you're very easily backstabbable, aren't you? Now, we're not doing a whole crap ton of damage, but we are keeping you locked down. This feels a little bit cheesy. Okay. And now you have no poise. So you are out of here. And we're just using our gold pickled foul feet any chance we get, because we can make a whole bunch of them. Why the hell not? Double Crystallian. One had a spear, one had a staff. They were still no match, even as short on resources as we were flask-wise. Still no match for the Tarnished of No Renown. Two-handing the big old magma sword. Cool. I don't want to return to the entrance because there is potentially more to the story here. One thought I had as we were going into the cave was, could this possibly connect us into Raya Lucaria? Maybe it will. We did get some loot. We got a spell. Crystal Release. We have, I think, our first Crystallian sorcery. Scours area with Violent Rain of Crystal Shards. This one also requires 41 intelligence. Sorcery of the Mysterious Crystallians. Creates a massive crystal, then shatters it to scour a wide area with a Violent Rain of Crystal Shards. This sorcery is used by high-ranking adepts among the Crystallians. Some also call this sorcery the Crystal Sun. Crystal Sun, won't you come? And wash away the rain. Okay. There is a ladder, an elevator here. And that appears to be all. I think we've gotten to the end of the cave. There's nothing more to do. Let's ride the elevator into Raya Lucaria. Trying to keep my eyes peeled for any potential secrets here, but this elevator is moving so quickly. So quickly. We're getting a music change. Which I want to say this music we have heard before in the Karian study hall. Academy of Raya Lucaria. Well, I had a feeling that one way or the other we were going into Raya Lucaria today. I wasn't totally sure if it was going to be from the South Raya Lucaria gate, or from the East Raya Lucaria gate, or from something else, which we can now take this marker off the map. Turns out it wasn't the Fringe Folk Hero's grave, thankfully. We are heading up to a high point here within the academy right off the bat. I really don't know exactly where I am. Before I head up this ladder, I want to maybe look around just a little bit more. Wary of the fact that I am low on flasks and hoping that we're not heading into a battle. But if we are, it's only 6,600 runes on the line. We really can't see much of anything. There's this one of the cool towers that's part of the overall academy, but otherwise it is rainy and foggy and we can't see shit. Which I hate. Why did we have to come here on a day like this? Why does it have to be this way? There's a chest. And a bell? There is a bell. Terra Magica. Raises the magic strength of those within the sigil. One of the glintstone sorceries of Raya Lucaria draws an academy sigil upon the ground, raising the magic strength of those within. Once, the sigil would be cast from the highest belfry of the academy, covering the entire institution's grounds. Whoa. This spell allows such vivid experience of spellcasting success, it turns many a fledgling into a true sorcerer in a flash of newfound understanding. Wow, that's one hell of a trip. Vivid experience. That's really sick sounding. Cast it from the highest belfry, which I assume is where we are. This would have to be the highest belfry, would it not? I don't see any other point around here that is higher. And it just covers the entire academy. Okay, so we have gotten into the academy technically, but we're at a point where we can't exactly descend to the other navigable areas within the academy. So I think this is a stopping point, or it is an end of the road to this line of exploration. What I will do is I will descend and just make sure that there is nothing to be seen looking the other direction down the elevator shaft. We were, I think, facing toward the opening. What in the heck? It gives a double title card? don't think we've seen a double title card before. All right. The Academy Crystal Cave has been completed. And I think with that, we can now say that we have explored. I mean, well, there's actually quite a bit that we haven't explored yet. There's still the top of this plateau. Who knows how we're getting there? Perhaps by one of the 4 belfries. And there's still the Carian Manor up here. But I think it is time to finally make our way into Raya Lucaria. I think it's time. And I think I want to start from the South Raya Lucaria gate. This is where we first... We made it here first, as opposed to the East Raya Lucaria gate. And it's time for us to open this door. Or to... I don't know if it's going to open the door or if we're like gonna phase shift through. Let's make a little bit. We're gonna switch around the flask situation here just a little bit. If we are going into the Academy, I wonder if it's actually going to be like Castle Stormvale, where we don't... Will we be able to refill our flasks? I'm not totally sure about that. So I think I'm gonna skew 6-4. We rely pretty heavily on magic at this point, so I think 6-4 is reasonable. And there could be a world where we would want to go 5-5 potentially, if we are really not able to replenish our flasks. We'll go 6-4 for now. Do I want to change my spells around? I might want to give myself one more. I think we might want to do one more. There is this idea of... I do want to keep magic fortification as an option, although it doesn't really last that long. It didn't seem like it lasted that long. What I'm thinking about is potentially using this Flame of the Fell God. We would have to use both a rune arc, combined with the Flask of Wondrous Physic. But maybe we want to do that. I think I'm going to do that because going into Raya Lucaria, we may not immediately be facing... I would imagine we're not going to be immediately facing a boss fight or some other situation where we, you know, immediately die. Do I even want to... How do I want to structure all of this? I think this is good enough for now. And then let's use our glintstone key first. Or attempt to use it. We do actually phase shift through. And it loads a new zone. I guess that makes sense that it would want to treat this as its own separate... Wait a second. It says Liurnia of the Lakes. Whoa, what? Okay, this is a little bit... We can actually use Torrent here. It says Liurnia of the Lakes as opposed to Raya Lucaria. Wait a second, what am I looking at here? Hold on a minute. Okay, so the 4 belfries appear to be off in the distance. Whoa, what is this? Oh, that's toward the East Raya Lucaria gate? Okay. And then what am I looking at here? I'm getting this feeling of, you know, entering like the Hunter's Nightmare all of a sudden. That we've entered into some sort of alternate version of reality. Because is this how... I don't remember seeing these rocks. These rock formations... Maybe I just literally never noticed these. But I feel like I'm looking at some twisted version or something that is very different from what we saw from the outside. What is going on here with this texture? Okay. It looked at first like we were looking up at, like, the clock tower. But then I realized that's not very textured, is it? Let's get the site of grace. We might have Mel in a dialogue. Let's rest. Main Academy Gate. The other thing I noticed is that it actually, like, the gate is gone. That's the big thing. Like, we've got this, we have the ability to examine seal, which presumably takes us back out into the real world, question mark. But we can also ride down here. What? Looks like some wolves down here. Are they wolves? I think they're wolves. Oh, has it transported? There's the gate over there. Okay, I didn't think about the possibility that it has not phased us through the gate into some other alternate reality, but it actually transported us further inwards. There are a whole lot of wolves here. Ow. I see a campfire with a merchant. Oh my god. There's a merchant down here. Sorry, Torrent. Torrent took the hit. Torrent's a buddy. Torrent's a pal. Trying to do this without camera lock, because that might be the better way to do horseback battle. Maybe that's all that happened, is that we simply transported from one end of the bridge to the other. Is that a Bloodhound Knight? I think I might see a Bloodhound Knight. That's what that sort of looks like to me. I think that's what we're dealing with here. Okay, we don't need to be worried about running out of juice because there is a site of grace back there. And also, you are weak as hell. Okay. Not sure if there are any other threats to worry about. But anytime you got loot just on the ground, out in the open, you gotta be sus. Anybody else that was hiding? Celestial Dew. Not sure if this is going to allow for the late night caffeinated gaming sessions like Mountain Dew would. Carry out absolution at the Church of Vows. A hidden tier found in the Eternal City, also known as a night tier, allows one to carry out an absolution at the Church of Vows, reversing all antagonizations. Once upon a time, the stars of the night sky guided fate, and this is a recollection of those times. I didn't realize that there was an item similar to the, what is it, the larval tier? that you would need in order to actually perform absolution. I didn't realize that was an item that was required. Okay, good to know. I don't think that's ever going to come into play for us. I don't know for sure what absolution means. Maybe absolution is if you like become hostile to a particular NPC. I did use that once in... I actually had to use that once in Dark Souls. Because I accidentally, not on purpose, totally accidentally, and I'm not being sarcastic, it was a tight space. For those of you who've done it, you know what I'm talking about. A very tight space room in Anne Orlando with a certain Onion Knight. And trying to deal with the Silver Knight right nearby. I accidentally whacked our Onion dude and got him mad at us. Had to do some absolution to make sure we didn't screw things up permanently. So maybe that is, you know, similar in this game. If you don't kill an NPC, but you just tick them off, maybe you can get back in their good graces. But you need a Celestial Dew. Not Mountain Dew. Okay.
Well, there's been an age since I've seen a customer. How can I help here at the end of the earth?
This guy's got the all-white look going on. What do you have? Oh, you have Fanged Imp Ashes. That's a little bit of a bummer. I was kind of hoping that the Fanged Imp Ashes were going to be like a unique item that we and we alone had access to because we picked it at the start of the game. Oh well. So Fanged Imp Ashes is not as special as I thought it might be. You do also sell some Trina's Lilies, some Eye of Yellow, some Stone Sword Keys. You got 3 of those suckers. That's cool. And another Lost Ashes of War. We just used our first one, and we have another one to replace it now. Cool. Okay. It also looks like you've got a cookbook. This is our second Beaver's cookbook, Favor's cookbook. And it gives us access to quite a few sleep-oriented items. Soporific Grease, Drawstring version, Sleep Bone arrows and bolts. Okay. We've only done that one sleep pot on the random Albinoric. Could be that this is a pretty useful ability. Putting stuff to sleep. How many enemies would it be useful against, though? Like, would we have been able to, in that dual Crystallian fight, is there a world where you can, like, sleep one of those guys while you take on the other? Could you do that? Something tells me that mini-bosses would be much more resistant to sleep. But who knows? What is this? A meteor bolt. Enchanted work of craft made in tandem with the full moon crossbow. The tip is embedded with glintstone. Like a shooting star, these bolts leave a beautiful trail when fired. Deals magic damage. Meteor bolt. That sounds awesome. There is a blue cloth outfit. Blue cloth. Cowl of a nomadic warrior. This looks like one of the starter pieces of gear. If we had chosen, I don't know, a warrior? I don't know what... It does say at the bottom, warriors must remain ever drifting. The blue color of its fabric symbolizes brisk waters, as fluid and flowing as the sword in the hand of its wearer. Just as still waters turn foul, stagnation leads to decay. Warriors must remain ever drifting. Looks kind of like a dress as opposed to a vest. Would this outfit change based on whether we were whether we had chosen male or female? Question mark. Warrior gauntlets, warrior greaves. Okay, so some starter gear. I think we've seen that with a couple other merchants. The like astrologer's outfit that we've seen at one of the ones here in Liurnia. You've got 3 sacrificial twigs, and then you've got some intel, which is of questionable utility, most of these, but we'll purchase them nonetheless. We've got the Preceptor's Secret. Let's go ahead and get all these since we can afford them. Revenants. Revenants are supposed to be the dudes that ring the bells, right? And then Frenzied Flame Village. I see. Frenzied Flame Village. Suggests that maybe the game was expecting us to come here far sooner. Maybe, maybe not. But we'll check all those out. And we'll get the cookbook as well, because we are collecting cookbooks. And then we will be back for some other things, potentially. Lost Ashes of War. Good stuff to note here.
Have a safe journey.
The same to you, although you're probably not going anywhere. So you're... just stay safe. Don't worry about journeying. Let's read our items. We know about the cookbook. Record of crafting techniques left by a man who was utterly captivated by Saint Trina. And then what do we have with our intel? The Preceptor's Secret. Preceptor Seluvis is hiding a dirty secret in a cellar among the ruins not far from the Sisters 3. The vile Graven Witch seems to be a frequent visitor to that place. Whoa, okay. Why does this make me think of Sellen? Sellen being held in the Witchbane ruins, right? A dirty secret in a cellar among the ruins, not far from the Sisters 3. Who are the Sisters 3 supposed to be? The Sisters 3. That is not immediately ringing a bell. The Sisters 3. Was there something about the Fourth Church of America? Tombsword Cave. Sorceress Sellen. Didn't let me check my notes here with Tope's dialogue. Because didn't he say that Sellen was called a witch by the people at the academy? There it is. This was specifically about Sellen. You've taken an apprenticeship with Sellen? Well, that is something. Sellen was well known, the most promising sorceress in the history of the academy. I followed her at school, but there may as well have been an ocean between us. But Sellen was expelled from the academy, accused of unthinkable treatment of certain sorceries under the name of the Graven Witch. I still don't believe the accusations. The illustrious Sellen would never do such things. Huh. Let's look at that again now. The vile Graven Witch. I just don't know what to make of this Sisters 3. The Sisters 3. Well, that wouldn't be a reference to the bat singing ladies, but there's not. The only place I can remember 3 of those bat singing ladies being together is like up in the precipice, the transition from Liurnia up to the Altus Plateau. Huh. We might want to go back. We might want to go back to the Witchbane ruins. Before I look at the other intel, I kind of want to do that. I think we're done at the end. I think we're done with the isolated merchant down here. So let's head back. We now have... Oh. Main Academy Gate. That's where we go, right? That's our warp point. I think it was just that I had not seen... I was misunderstanding. We're not in like an alternate version of reality. We're just at a different part of the academy. We're not at the south end. We got warped over to the north end. That's why I was so confused at first. I was like, oh, we're looking at the 4 belfries, because of course, there's the 4 belfries. I feel like it's easier to go from the isolated merchant's shack. We had that one gravity death that I am conscious of now every time. Falling from the church, the fourth church of America. Falling to my death trying to make it to the Witchbane ruins. We just were here, right? We just came to this place recently. I don't see how buying the note from the isolated merchant, buying that note is not going to progress things. Frothing degenerate still. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Maybe we just need to make progress in Raya Lucaria. Now that we know there's a dirty secret being hidden here. There is a dirty secret that is being that was being hidden here. We picked up some loot way back when. Do I need to go back and review what loot that I picked up here? Is that important? What the heck? What the hell? Okay, we're gonna warp out of here. Just because I don't want to get attacked while I'm reading stuff. I'm very confused, but that is nothing new. What is the Three Sisters? The Sisters 3. Preceptor Saluvis. It feels like something that we need to do something else. We need to find Preceptor Saluvis, potentially. Or is it possible that Preceptor Saluvis has, like, taken Selen's identity, and the vendor that we've been interacting with that we think is Selen is actually Preceptor Saluvis? What the hell is going on here? Okay, Revenants. Let's turn our attention to the other notes. The crawling royal revenants and their followers are all cursed. Healing powers will harm rather than mend. What? You can actually, like, heal them? Or you can damage them with your heals? That's gnarly. Because they're cursed. Is that something that we can... Could I do that with my Blessing Spoon, I wonder? And then Frenzied Flame Village. South of the Grand Lift of Dectus lies the Frenzied Flame Village inhabited by the sick. Stay well away. Way past that point. That ain't happening. We've done that business. Too late. You gotta get that warning to us a little bit more in advance. I do kind of want to quickly just do a little bit of science with the Revenants. And equip, let's go and equip our, instead of Flame Grant Me Strength, we'll put a heals HP for self and nearby allies. So this, and maybe also the Blessing Spoon, these healing spells that have an area of effect would also apply to the Revenants. Where do we have to go? What's the, probably not Stormville. Probably out here in Lasciar Ruins. I know there's a bunch of... There's Revenants all over the place. So it's not like we have to travel very far to find these guys. There might be some within line of sight here. There's the guy on the horse, but he's a little... I don't know if that applies to him because he's not crawling around. Where do we find one of these guys that's just sitting around? Up here? There's also, like, they come out of the ground. Yeah. Wow. What the hell? Okay. That is a... I mean, we'll see how useful that info ends up being. I don't know if we're going to be running into a bunch of revenants in the academy. We've already done all our taking care of our business here in Raya Lucaria. Not Raya Lucaria, what am I talking about? In Liurnia, the lake, all this stuff. We are done, basically. But who knows? Maybe there will be some of these guys in the academy that we can take advantage of this knowledge. But that's interesting. It does make me want to potentially experiment with other enemies, you know? Are there other enemies where that could be other cursed enemies that would have that that effect applied to them as well? Interesting to think about. This is so exciting, though. We're finally here inside Raya Lucaria, and my head is already spinning. What the hell? Okay, I see a golden seed in the distance, but I also see a hostile summon sign. Oh my god, be summoned to assist Yura, Hunter of Bloody Fingers. Oh shit! It has been forever since we got to co-op with Yura. Well, hell yeah, I want to do that, but I also, I need to switch around my... Hold on here. Let's go back and switch around my spells very quickly after we did our bit of science with the Revenants. I need to take this heal off of the bar because why would you ever want to use something that's not a trickle heal? Yura! Wow! That seems like a very random place for us to find him. What I'd like to do is actually, let's go back to this flame grant me strength, but I also want to... This magic fortification, do I need this? Because I was thinking about trying to use this Howl of Shibriri if we were going to be using a rune arc. But I don't necessarily need a rune arc just yet. I'll throw it onto the memory slot, into the memory slot, and we will think about that. For now, we can get in there and help our buddy Yura. I might also need to redo my flasks. I'm thinking, I very often think about optimization. It's what I like to do. It often turns into over-optimization. We may not need to fully optimize for whatever is going on here with Yura, but we're going to try and help out our buddy. I thought for sure that it was a red summon sign, so I thought it was going to be a fight, but it's not quite that. Bloody Finger Ravenmount Assassin. What? A Ravenmount Assassin. Wait, I gotta get a better look at this guy. Hold on. Does this guy have the Eileen outfit? It looks like this guy is wearing the Eileen outfit. What the actual hell? Except maybe without the, you know, the crow mask. Dude, he's got some moves. Got some moves, but also not that much health. Okay, we helped out our buddy Yura. I didn't have time to do a gesture or anything there. We got, looks like a rune arc and also a furl called whatever it is. And we get an Ash of War, Raptor of the Mists. Things are happening here. What in the actual hell? We're gonna check all that in a moment. Let's also go down and pick up this, what I presume to be a golden seed. And I guess we have to be careful about not falling to our death. There are some cracks in the bridge here to be wary of. Why did I not jump? I think I got a little bit of the latency. My wonderful setup here that is both recording and playing at the same time. Every so often in these moments when you can see the the beauty of all of the surrounding zone in an area like Liurnia, there are some moments where those hiccups in latency occur and don't allow you to actually jump with Torrent as you are expecting. Good lord. Golden Seed, I think that's what, 2 out of 4? Are we supposed to be able to get to the rest of the bridge here? It does not appear to be the case. I was wondering, I had wondered about the fact that this bridge is in such a dilapidated state. How are we going to traverse it once we get through the East Raya Lucaria gate? How's that supposed to work? The answer is you warp. You warp to the spot. You just bypass it all because we're dealing with Glintstone Harry Potter land. Okay, so we helped out Yura and we've picked up some items. Let's take a look at, I guess, the most relevant one. Yeah, we picked up a Furl Calling Finger Remedy, that thing. Co-op and hostile summoning signs. And we got another rune arc. We need to use one of these. We need to use one. Raptor of the Mist. What is this? Raptor of the Mist. Duck into a low stance, momentarily vanishing. That's what that Raven Mount assassin was doing, wasn't it? If an enemy attack connects, Avian Wings will allow for a quick escape into the air. Yo, dude, this is a Raven Mist. That's or Mist Raven. Bit of my Sekiro knowledge has faded, maybe, but was that not the Mist Raven? Yeah. Something I didn't learn about it until much later in the game is that you can just warp straight up into the air after getting hit. Okay. So that's another interesting skill out of the many Ashes of War that we picked up. Let's go to... I mean, we have to go and try to talk with Yura, don't we? We have to see if our friend has any update to his dialogue after taking out a Raven Mount assassin. What is up with that? I don't even know what the hell Raven Mount is. He's gone. He has absconded. Yura is gone, at least from Liurnia. Liurnia? Limgrave. Dang it, why do these names have to be so similar? Limgrave is what I meant to say. But yeah, he's gone. Yura is gone. Is he somewhere on the map that I've overlooked? Looking for new potential NPCs. This is a finger reader crone. That's the isolated merchant. Muriel, Pastor of Vows. We're getting close to a point where an NPC sweep might not be a bad idea. EG, right? Yep, Smithing Master EG. Nomadic Merchant, Finger Crone. I don't see Yura immediately, but it's possible that we will cross paths with him again somewhere in Raya Lucaria. He might be on the map somewhere that I'm overlooking. That's a merchant down here, right? I don't see him. So, let's head back to the academy. All this stuff happened and we haven't even taken the elevator, the main elevator that goes into Raya Lucaria, which I did make note of here in this part of the structure. And I think that is the next place to go. Just double check one more time here. Make sure there's no like little side passage that I might have overlooked. What do we make of everything? We've got a clue now regarding Selen, the Graven Witch. We've crossed paths with Yura. He is somehow involved with all of this stuff. We've gone back to the beginning of the game and maybe picked up a peculiar doll. What the heck? Ah, but we do have a point where Torrent cannot cross. Have we now entered into Castle Stormvale territory? No more horse travel or flask refills. What a view as we transitioned from that the first what do I even say about this? Man, the Harry Potter vibe that has all of a sudden, like, even like the little, that's really what's the music here. I hadn't noticed it before until just this moment. But it has, there's a little bit of a Harry Potter theme that's being mirrored there. Not really. Not really. This is obviously, we're still in Elden Ring. Man, this is, Maria's clock tower. The place where you fight the dancer. This face on a building we have seen before. But it's been put into a new setting. The gargoyles holding the lanterns. The glintstone mist in the air. Oh my goodness. I am so ready to check this out. I think we want to use a rune arc. I think this is where we want to, we got to use rune arcs at some point. And I think I am going to utilize one now. They just gave us one. They've given us two, in fact, this episode. Let's use one. This makes it more difficult for us to die as well, as long as we're not, you know, taking silly science deaths. I do see, obviously, the two. So the guys with the double stone crown, the two-faced stone crown, those are the twin sages, right? These guys look like they have the single faces, and I think we know those to be, at least from the ashes, just the regular old glintstone sorcerers. Okay. Now, how far away do we have to be for them to see us? What did I hear just now? Sounded like some sort of animal. Oh. Oh, there is a path to the side over here. Not on this side, though. Am I hearing... They wouldn't have Stormhawks here, would they? Creepy graveyard and bridge in the distance. Ooh, there's some loot up there. I really like this vibe. The vibe in this area so far. It really is kind of making me, I feel a little bit like I'm in Bloodborne all of a sudden. It just has this gothic Victorian era feel to it. And it's like the mist in the air, the weird gargoyles, like it just has a maybe it's also the the celestial glintstone affiliation. Not able to target anything just yet. These sounds that we're hearing also add to the creepiness factor. Still don't know if I have to do that. It may not be necessary for me to do that Flame Grant Me Strength. I might be able to just do a charged Frenzied Burst on its own and take those guys out. I only see the one way forward, though. I'm just a little wary of that sound that I keep hearing, that screeching or what is it? It's not really screeching. It may just be background noise. You know, it may not be an actual enemy that we have to worry about, but it does just make me wary about, you know, Stormhawks or other enemies ready to ambush. The double doors opening. We're just gonna do the old, we're gonna do a regular frenzied burst this time without going with, or, yeah, see, it doesn't actually get us over the line. Okay. That's okay, though. That's okay. No big deal. Being extra careful here. Oh, puppets. Puppets. Okay. Now we will do Flame Grant Me Strength. Oh, there are more puppets in... There are more puppets that are hanging out. I need to drink. Please, let me drink. That's a lot of damage that they take. Not sure if they are weak to the Flame of Frenzy, perhaps. Or they just don't have a lot of magic resistance in general. I see, there's a dude. I couldn't target him because he was behind one of these bird cages. We do take them out without the help of the Flame Grant Me Strength. Who else? Who else is waiting to drop in on us here? Oh man, we are in Raya Lucaria. I'm partly switching over into combat mode, but I still am trying to absorb and take in as much as possible, going into a completely new area. The architecture here, it's almost like it's a building within a building. Like, it feels like the overall Raya Lucaria architecture, but in this case, it's... What do we have here? Some sort of altar? Who would this be? Who is that? I really want to get a look. You have a crystal ball in one hand? Not sure if this is supposed to be somebody noteworthy, but I feel like this is the first time we've seen this asset. It almost feels like it would be like a big hourglass, except in this case it's just a statue that's in the middle. Not sure if it's a particular person. Golden Rune, level 2. Somber Smithing Stone 3. We need to be wary. We need to be wary of sus walls, don't we? Although in this case, there is just an opening that goes to another room. Okay, I was beginning to think that, this looks like a dead end. We gotta look for the sus wall that leads out of here. Not so fast. I am being so... It might... Ah, there's a Site of Grace. Okay. It might be the fact that I have popped a great rune. Now I'm like, I really don't want to die. I want to get as much value out of this rune as I can. My value brain! It's gone into super safe mode. Who is this? I gotta say, this guy does kind of... Like, he's got a regular human face, but his face does seem to mirror the stone crowns. Why is one upside down, and why is one on its side, and why is one right side up? Is there a clue there? Is there anything to be gleaned? Is there... Is this the clue that we've been waiting for when it comes to the converted fringe tower? Because in one, see, he's holding the staff. In one, he's actually just got a dagger. There's a dagger here, and he's holding a book. And then he's got a staff that he's holding like at a diagonal. And then in this one, he's got a staff that he's holding with two hands, and it's like straight up. Oh, his hat is actually different in this one, although maybe it's just his hair. Okay. It's just notable that these are three different paintings but they all appear to be the same person, but maybe not. Like the hairstyle is different in each of them, and actually the headpiece might be different in each of them as well. Okay, I might be over-fixating on particular details that are not important. There is one other thing I've noticed as I've been standing here is the sound. It's very faint, but there is some sort of breathing that is going on taking place on the other side of this wall. Some sort of enemy, I'm guessing. Was thinking this was a pressure plate here for a second. Raya Lucaria. We did not check the... I don't need to rest. I don't want to bring the enemies back, but I want to check the name on this. This is the Church of the Cuckoo. We're here in the Church of the Cuckoo, as E.G. would say. And I do love the way that he says, cuckoo. Whoa! Whoa, what the fuck? Oh my god. Immediately looking for the tiny little hound that is turning the giant wheel here that appears to be attached to some sort of elevator, a la Blighttown. Okay. Definitely wasn't expecting that. Oh, it's one of these zombies. There's a zombie out here, and there's other zombies in a graveyard over here. Okay. All right. These guys we can probably... Never mind. Never mind. Hold on here. Hold on a second. Did he just drain my... I think he just drained my mana. I think this guy just drained... Oops. Now I might go back and sit. I might actually go back now and sit at this. So far, we have not gotten our flasks refilled. And I'm going to assume, until proven otherwise, that we are operating under... castle doctrine, castle rules that would apply to, maybe we'll call them Dark Souls rules. Whatever the rules are, it's not the normal overworld flask refill rules, I don't think. But I'm pretty sure that dude, when he latched onto me, he, I see this motherfucker hiding here. Now, they got me, good job. Congrats, you got me. But, what was I gonna say? What was I going to say? Zombies with mana drain. For some builds, that would not be a concern. For our build, it's a bit concerning. It's definitely... Life drain is always the scariest, but... You know, mana drain is not something that you're looking forward to. So. That did not one-shot. I'm very disappointed. A charged two-hand attack did not one-shot him. But a backstab does, I guess. And they're pretty backstabbable, so that's good. There was part of me for a second, we got to a graveyard here, and I was thinking, huh, is this the place that has, I'm in combat apparently because I couldn't check the map. Who am I in combat with? This dude over here? It was that guy, okay. I was thinking for a second we still have this clue. Is it this one here? Yeah. This is way outside of Raya Lucaria, of course. I don't know why I thought this, this is probably at the Carian Royal Manor. Not here, just because we're in a graveyard. A Grace Mimic. Should we just use one of these and just see what the hell happens? Because I feel like otherwise this is going to be an item that I just never use. Light shows the path, but without order. I just want to see what the hell happens. Doesn't show up on the map. Is it pointing toward the next site of grace? This one had a ray that points in this direction. It didn't actually point toward this Church of the Cuckoo. And this doesn't have its own. Although this one kind of looks like it points here. I don't know. And it already faded. It's gone. I guess that's just supposed to point you to the next warp point, or maybe the next significant warp point. It looked like it pointed in this direction. Man, this... Oh, dude, I just wish it were a little less foggy. Honestly, I know the fog adds to the aura of the environment, so you probably can't do without it. But I just... oh, I just want to see everything there is. What the hell? There's a giant frickin' water wheel, except it's not really a water wheel. There's no waterfall. How is this thing being powered? Watch there be a zombie dog that I just can't see right now. This is so Bloodborne. This area is so Bloodborne, and I love it. There is a passageway, some sort of bridge across here that I guess we're probably going to get to maybe by going into this building down here and getting in, finding an elevator. I am definitely proceeding at my my normal cautious snail's pace because of that shit. Let's see how Frenzy Burst does on them. That's about what I was expecting. These guys. Oh, there is one there. Oh my god, hold on. Hold on, there's a whole crew of them. They coming. Oh lordy, they coming. No, when they're in grab animation, I want to be a little bit wary. Woo! That was fun. They are so freaking slow. You just need to not get into their grab radius. Just don't allow them to grab you. That's pretty much it. As I spam the roll button to avoid that grab. You just make sure that you don't get in the grab radius and you're good to go. They do give us spellproof dried liver. We could just use that, right? Instead of having our magic protection. What is it? Magic fortification? Because we can make more of these, I think. Can we not? And maybe I will make some of those for right now. Because we have plenty of the glintstone fireflies, finally. And Lord knows we have plenty of Roa fruits, my god. Do I actually have the max Roa fruits? Can I not pick up any more? Okay, what else have I overlooked here? What loot hiding behind gravestones? Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Now this is after the precipice of anticipation. Boy, it would be really mean and cruel if they decided to pull the same trick. Okay, just a smithing stone 4. Don't give me any. Don't give me any of the falling surprise fall away precipice tricks after I popped a rune arc. Don't do it to me. If I die of natural causes, I can, you know, rest easier. If I get mauled by a whole bunch of zombies because I was careless, you know, no big deal. It's just one of 17 rune arcs. Just don't fucking lure me in with some stupid nascent butterfly bullshit. None of that. Oh, there's another one down here. Ah, okay. It does feel like the kind of area. When it's all foggy like this, it's definitely prime territory for them to try to pull the old, well, having some hidden walkways when it's so foggy. Boy, this is a really, there's a scarab back here, it sounds like. Except where the hell is it? Oh shit, oh my god, we are really, there's a jump we gotta make. We are definitely off of the beaten path now. Ambush. Ambush. Why is that path there? Aha. Who hit me? Who the hell hit me? I took some arrows from... Oh, there was another guy. Okay, I can finally drink my flask. There was a second. There was a second sniper. Marionette soldier ashes. Look at the glowing red eyes on there, too. What? Oh, hi. Goodbye. I guess we're just up here on the other side of this bridge that we were going to be crossing regardless. But we got to get a sneak attack vantage point on at least this zombie here. We'll save our magic and we'll go up and do a backstab on that guy. So we are just at the other side of the bridge. Okay, cool. I like that we're finding some secrets. Oh god. And we found 2 more zombies that were waiting for us. Oh, and there's more over here. I'm gonna try to wait on my my. Ooh, we could use Howl of Shabriri. Should we try that here? Let me read how this works again. Hold on. Oh, it builds up madness in the. Is it even worth? It's not worth. I don't think it's worth. We just go up and we use the flame guillotine against these guys. Magma guillotine. You know what I mean? We'll maybe use. It doesn't. I haven't used the Howl of Shabriri yet, and I wanted to get I knew for sure that I would get an AoE attack if I used the magma guillotine there. Maybe we'll use the howl against this guy that we know is patrolling up here. Let's actually read about the howl and remind ourselves what this thing does. Howl of Shabriri, building up madness in nearby foes. Oh, it makes it so that you're more likely to be attacked as well. Madness buildup in the caster. Is this a good thing? Do we want to do this? I hear a scarab. Where's the scarab? We have the ability to summon. I forgot we did not check our marionette yet. Our marionette ashes that we just picked up. We're gonna take this guy out with a magma guillotine. He felt a little stronger than the other guys. Should we use our howl against this guy? Okay. So... This is where you can't really see their own madness, you know. Like, we can see how our madness is building up, but we can't see what's going on with the enemy. This might not be the right type of enemy to use the howl against. It is pretty funny, though, hearing our character kind of losing his mind. These guys feel a little bit stronger. It does feel like these zombies are a little bit more leveled up. I do see that we have an aura about us. Almost a heroic odor. But I'm guessing that must be the aura that makes us more likely to be attacked. So we did have that momentarily. Oh, and we've got another ledge down here where you all are hanging out. The Howl of Shabriri is definitely... There is definitely an AoE component, but it's just not... It doesn't seem to be building up madness quickly enough in these guys for it to be useful for us. Where are we at on flasks? We're doing okay here. There's a couple different spots where these guys are hanging out down here, and I do want to get that loot. We have the ability to summon as well. If I go down here, how am I getting back up? By going around that ledge over there? I'm not sure that I want to... Let me just make note of this here. That is not where I thought that beacon was going to be. Yeah, let's just put that there. And I will come back to that. Because I just am not sure that I want to traverse that path around a narrow ledge. I'm curious where this scarab is at, though. I think I see it. Feels like it's down there. Okay, this looks like a point of no return right here as well. So let's take a moment here and read about the marionette soldiers, shall we? Spirits of marionette soldiers created to serve a sorcerer. These marionettes are archers, each equipped with a pair of bows. On the verge of falling apart, they are ill-disciplined and attack without warning. Yep, we've seen that. Another fun set of ashes to play around with. Oh, that doggy sees us, though. Is he coming for us? Is he going to make his way around whatever path exists between that part of the map and here? There's going to be dudes that pop out of the ground here, right? No? Okay. More magic grease. There is the guy up here, and I do see a zombie dog to the right. Is that a zombie dog, actually? Wow, he is sturdy. I feel like there is something to my left that I'm hearing. It might just be the dog that is down below. I'm trying to figure out, though, what is going on with this. Is this just... Is it just a zombie dog that is in a weird spot, or is it just a detached head? God damn it. That guy did path up to us. Motherfucker. Okay, there's more of them. And there apparently is a path somewhere. Oh, okay, well there's that too. Was not a backstab, apparently. How did they... Maybe they weren't down below. Maybe they were up here by where the Trina's Lily is. Yeah, maybe. There are a number of these guys. They keep coming. They have a little difficulty pathing around trees, which I will try to take advantage of. Beast blood, huh? Okay, this one is super not interested in us, though. Why does it feel like it's slightly different? Like it's just a little less zombified than everybody else. Why does it feel like that? I am going to use my... Well, am I going to use my Blessing Spoon? Yeah, I'm going to use my Blessing Spoon. I probably should have gone 5-5. Ooh, man. The fact that it's so dark also lends to the my being on edge much more than normal. And maybe I should just be using one of our summons here. I just am out of mana. And I am trying to be wary about my flask situation. Because who knows when the next... Who knows when the next... You know. Who knows when the next Site of Grace is going to appear? Ash of War, Spectral Lance, and a Golden Rune Form. Spectral Lance, skill of the Headless Mausoleum Knights. Hurl a phantasmic spear at foes. That also sounds cool. This actually grants the occult affinity. Is that our first occult affinity? I think so. No, it's our second. We got one with the Lifesteal Fist. All right, let's see if we can spend the rest of our FP here. Either on a Frenzied Burst or a couple Magma Guillotines. I do have that location that I want to check out down below. Do I want to do that before going in this direction? I'm hearing the water wheel. I think I do, actually. I think we do check that out. Let's... I wish I could use another Flame Grant Me Strength. I could use Frenzied Burst, though, to whittle down the crowd from afar, which is maybe what we can do with this guy who's just chilling over here by himself. Okay. Now we can use the flame grant me strength. I am noticing that there is the bigger version of zombie. That's why this guy is harder to kill, because he is just a shit ton bigger. Thank you for grabbing through my iframes. I appreciate that. Oh my god, we have the Carian Knight outfit. I do really like that helm, and it looks especially cool when it's on the gigantic Stone Digger trolls. My goodness, though, this is a fancy armor set. We'll check that out in just a moment here. I really am super enjoying the atmosphere in Raya Lucaria. It is not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be much brighter. The dark, foggy aura that has descended, that is enshrouding this place is just not what you see from the outside. At least I didn't get that impression at all. Let's see if we can make our way back around to safety, and then we will check out our new item, new armor set. Interesting. And there is an item down here. Golden Rune 4. And there was apparently a passageway that it goes up. It's an overlook. You can't jump up there. One way only. Okay, let's read about the Carian Knights. Greaves of the Enchanted Knights that once served the Carian royal family. The Enchanted Knights, anointed by the Lunar Queen, were all heroes of the highest honors, but fell into disarray with the decline of the royal family. The Lunar Queen is Renala, correct? I really like that helm. We can just try this outfit on for size real fast. Just to see, give ourselves a taste. So fancy. My goodness. Where are the Raya Lucaria Greaves? Are they on their own? There it is. Not Raya Lucaria Greaves, but Carian Knight Greaves. What's the weight? We are medium weight doing this, huh? This is not bad. That cape. I'm not a big fan of like the blue and the red, but I really do like that helm. It's just it's got a classic Dark Souls knight helm feel, but it's also fancy. Oh shit. Whoops. There was one more guy that we had not dealt with. Can I get a backstab on you? Not needed. What I was walking over here to do was to allow the camera to get into a closer position for us to check ourselves out. And look at the ornate jewelry on the chest piece. This is not bad, and it does lighten our load ever so slightly, I think. It's pretty comparable, actually, looks like. This twinned armor chest piece does add a fair bit. And, yeah, that's why I was having to use the Land of Reeds armor, although this Carian Knight Greaves does keep us at medium load if we decide to use that. I don't know if that's a better look for what we've got going on. We'll think about adjusting Fashion Souls perhaps at a later date. What I'm hoping to get here, it would be great if we could find a Site of Grace. It feels like we have progressed to the point where a Site of Grace might be in order, but I could be wrong, and I feel like I am seeing some sort of strange animation in the distance that looks like a new type of enemy. Not sure. We do have this apparently is the point where we would get on an elevator. This is the loading spot. It looks like it's one of those portals that the what are we calling the guys that way back over here beside the crater-pocked glade. We've seen a couple. I feel like this was one instance. The crater-pocked glade was one instance where we saw somebody coming through a portal like this. But it's the same type of guy that we fought on a beach way back in Limgrave. Yep. Okay. He gives us a gravity well. Another gravity-oriented spell. Maybe this has more of some more info on who exactly these guys are. It is technically a glintstone sorcery, which manipulates gravitational forces. Fires a projectile of condensed gravitational force. Those struck by it will be pulled toward the caster, charging enhanced potency. A gravitational technique studied by the young Radon. His master was an alabaster lord with skin of stone. That's what these guys are, alabaster lords. That was Radon's master. One of these guys was Radon's master. Who knows, maybe even that guy was Radon's master. Probably not. I mean, I feel like if Radon has a master, he's got to be more powerful than that. What? Dude, that's really gnarly. Oh, it was an Ash of War that we got, wasn't it? Gravitas. Originating from the Alabaster Lords. They're all about that gravity, just like Radon, aren't they? Oh, I can't do my Blessed Spoon. Satch. It might be better for me to just drink a flask. We've got 5 of them. I'm hoping we can get to a Site of Grace soonish. Somber Smithing Stone 3. So some segment, some offshoot of the Glintstone folks, did they turn into Alabaster Lords? What the hell? This game is so freaking cool. Alrighty, oh my god. Alright, time to get on an elevator. Where are we getting off of the elevator? That's the thing I'd like to potentially scout out here first, if I have the ability to do so. It looks like we're getting off in that direction, so we can embark here and disembark on this side here. I'm not sure if there's any benefit to continuing to ride the elevator, because obviously it would turn over, wouldn't it? Could you potentially... I mean, there might be a way, if you rode the elevator up to, like, the apex of its turning radius, you could maybe walk around to the other side of the platform and then go down. That's potentially a thing. All right, now we've got these scrubs hanging out here. These are like Cave of Knowledge hollows, aren't they? These are the guys that introduced us. Or that we were introduced to at the start of the game. Crystal darts? Okay, there is some sort of... There's some gears that we can potentially turn here. Although I don't see a lever for us to actually do some turning. What is going on here? There's got to be a site of grace nearby, doesn't there? There it is. My radar was up. My radar was up. I needed to find a site of grace, regardless, because the schoolhouse classroom. We're making some inroads here into Raya Lucaria, and that is where we're going to wrap up this installment of Elden Ring. I am very curious. There is an item on a ledge there, which I want to figure out how to get that, because it is a more notable item. I'm very curious to see if we could... this has got to be a thing, right? Riding the elevator down in the other direction. It's got to be a thing. Oh, shit, there's even a lookout point over here. We don't even need to do what I was thinking. We just, we can embark on the elevator from this direction. Right? You just get on the elevator from this side. So it definitely is a thing. Where does it go? We're gonna have to find out next time. Assuming I'm brave enough. Because I would hate to suffer a silly gravity death while I have a rune arc that I have enabled. But either way, we're here in Raya Lucaria, and we are absorbing all that we can, figuring out new pieces of lore. We got to team up with Yura. That was very unexpected. We've gotten some clues that make no sense yet, but something about the Graven Witch, Selen, that we are going to try to make sense of. And then we will be pressing forward further into Raya Lucaria. This is so... it's got such a different vibe compared to Stormvale Castle. Going into Stormvale was definitely one of the more memorable, epic moments in the FromSoft franchise for me. But this is right up there. These, when you're going in, you've had all this time exploring in the overworld, and in some sections of Liurnia, feeling a little bit of, okay, I'm ready to be done with this. There's a little bit of monotony. There's a little bit of repetitiveness. It's just such a big area. There's so much to do, so many things to explore. And now we transition into this area that you've been seeing all this time, and you've been hearing about all the notable things going on, the mysteries connected to Raya Lucaria, the fact that we know that Renala is almost certainly to be found somewhere in here. And then you get this freaking water wheel. What exactly is powering this thing? I forgot to look and see if we had a view inside. They have conveniently made it hard to see where there is the almost certainly a zombie dog hard at work keeping this thing going. But the whole gothic Victorian feel that has me a little bit back in feeling the Bloodborne vibes as well. It's all so much fun, and I can't wait to find out more next time. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.